Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your cloud, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow
all a tune. If they out there playing free ball, they out there playing how Kentucky used to play, how we started playing in Carolina a little bit. Man, we out there, we playing because we like, man, fuck the coach. Fuck him. We cool.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, you know, on how similar the same methods, practices, and tactics are being applied from the slave days to now, as you've been discussing. One of the three things that Willie Lynch referred to was he uses fear, distrust, and envy. You know, and I think, like you said, being the main guy, and you talked about it in your book, which is kind of going to lead into our next question about your incident with Matt Dougherty in the office, on how he was basically, what I gathered from it was that he was instilling that fear, trying to put a player in his place. And not only that, let me make an example out of him so that the other guys don't get out of line, so I can keep that control. Seeing that, oh, this guy, he's rising too fast. You know, we got to keep him in place, keep him in line. So I just thought that was very interesting on that comparison. If you care to share more,
man. I mean, that's a perfect segue into it, because he thought he was breaking me down by pinpointing and showing me that the TV guide that said Rashad McCants and the Tar Heels wasn't supposed to say that, and it did. And he wanted it to, not say it, and it was hilarious, because all I could think about was being on the cover of TV Guide. I was just like, hold up,
yeah,
hold up.
I think it's crazy on how he made the connection with you and MJ, because we know that saying that's been going on for decades. The only person that can stop Michael Jordan from averaging 20 is Dean Smith. And he mentioned that, he stated that to you, but I don't think people really know the darkness behind that. Like, they just think, oh, team sports, I got to do what's best for the team, but like they don't really know the evilness behind it. You know what I'm saying? The true heart behind what he was saying.
It's more than that, though, Clint. It's more than that. It's history because of who's saying it. This is what's crazy to me that people don't look at. If I make a statement like this dude said to me, that I remind him of his ex-teammate that he played with in college, that he used to come into the locker room and see every single day, and he compared me to him, saying, I'm sure you go into the locker room just like Michael used to, thinking you're the shit. Not talking to nobody.
That's almost like the son of a slave telling a current slave what his daddy used to do.
I'm telling you.
That's what it sounded like.
I'm telling. And then when he said the way he's saying it to me, I'm 17. I'm ready to go, but I'm not stupid. You know what I'm saying? At the same time. So I'm hearing him like really comparing me to Michael Jordan. So I'm flattered at this time. At this point, I'm like, man.
Right.
So
that's what most would think. Yeah.
I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Out of anybody you can compare me to, you compare my aura and how I moved to how Mike was moving when you was playing. And now you're telling me that you got the power, to just the same power that Dean had, that you're going to stop me like Dean stopped him. And that means that you seen it yourself, Matt Dougherty. That means that you seen it, you witnessed it, and you was okay with it because he was your teammate and he was in your way. Like some Othello shit. Like it was so disgusting to see a grown man try to take something away from a kid.
Yeah.
And later down the line, I look back and it's like I could never see him face to face and be like, man, you was a real coward back then. Because you was trying to take a part of my legacy that was, you know what I'm saying, I was shooting for. I was trying to go after that. And he was trying to stop that for some reason.
just reading it, man, reading that story in your book, I just sensed the real, it felt like some hatred, man. Like it really did. And when people, like you said, when people get compared to MJ, like you automatically assume it's going to be in a positive light, but like no, it was in a negative light. And and then Dean Smith, like him not being, on the same page with MJ, like these are stories that, I don't think a lot of people know. I know I didn't know. I was like, oh wow, like MJ and Dean, they actually, like, he didn't like MJ from what the book was saying. So yeah, it was very, very interesting, man, just to hear that perspective. And yeah, I was definitely educated for sure.
I have to say, there's a couple of things that to unpack with this. One, it seems like you obviously were not the only one that had a problem with Matt Daugherty. I didn't know, like I don't looking back, like I said, I was young back then, so I didn't actually know coach that Matt Daugherty was the coach, and probably till like later down the line. And then I put two and two together because you read a biography about Michael Jordan and you see Matt Daugherty's name pops up every time. And then I saw, oh, he actually came back and coached North Carolina, but I didn't even know the reason why he coached, and then he ended up getting booted because of his attitude with the other players. So we can talk about that in a second, but I have to ask you before we get into Matt Daugherty though, like it seemed like what you said in the book is that Mike and Dean Smith, at least when they were younger, the relationship really wasn't that good compared to how they kind of made it seem later on down the line. Can you kind of go into maybe something stuff that you may have heard about that?
No, I ain't no hearing nothing, man. This is
I
just what
mean,
it is. When you're technically savvy on the microphone and you know how to rock the mic and talk to the public, there's certain politically correct things that you can say that people were never gonna catch on to. So you talking about Mike, you talking about Kobe, you talking about certain guys who just eloquent, talking to the media a certain way. So, a guy like Mike, he gonna always talk good about his university, his people, whoever he around because of his brand. It's connected to
Yeah,
his brand. And when you've built a brand and you can't misstep on that brand because the brand is worth so much, it's not worth, taking the step out of bounds. So
yeah,
for Michael Jordan, it ain't worth it to keep it real. When
mm,
what I'm saying, like when everyone would love to hear the truth about the friction of the type of ball Mike played, the type of ball he learned how to play when he was at Carolina, because we all learned how to play a certain structured basketball when we got there, which allowed us to understand team concept. But there was that hold back, that was that friction of capacity on all fronts between me, Mike, and Joe Forte. I think Stackhouse may have experienced it a little bit, Vince a little bit too, where they just put him in a position and he kind of held back and they potential. So, when you get to that level, you can explode. You're not gonna go back and criticize nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately you got the opportunity to showcase your ability outside of that position. But that's what happens if you don't never really get that opportunity. Like not a lot of guys get opportunity to leave a big program and then get to go do their own thing after being
yeah,
like a position guard, right? And so if you're a guy that was held back in the college realms and you finally get to the league and the game open up for you, you see that right away in the game. Other guys have to just adjust to that position and figure out how to get to the corner, be ready
yeah,
to shoot that three. You know what I'm saying? So Mike,
yeah,
he can hold back that animosity for certain people and certain things he feel. He let out
yeah,
certain emotions when he did the Hall of Fame thing.
yeah. I
Uh,
was just about to say,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But that's after the fact. Like, who gonna say something after that? You know what I'm saying? You can't say
big
nothing
facts.
after that. So that's why he would hold it off until a time like that to say what he really wanted to say because his brand is solidified. He can't say nothing crazy at this point to fuck up the brand. So he can say what he want, but at the same time, it ain't worth it to do it on a regular basis.